I'll be in the garage. Oh man, that's heavy. Hi there, it's Jeff from I'll Be in the Garage. Stick around today because I'm going to give a little explanation of how hydraulic brakes work, and I'm going to do that on my 1929 Graham Paige that's currently under restoration. Okay, so here's a really simple diagram I made of how the system works. Inside your car, you got your brake pedal, right? So you push on this. It's connected by a rod to kind of a piston that's inside a thing called the master cylinder. There's an example of my master cylinder. It's just basically a metal tube with a piston in it. And inside a hydraulic system, there's fluid. This is called brake fluid. And this master cylinder is connected to a series of tubes called the brake lines. They're usually copper lines that run underneath the car, and they go to each wheel. And because you cannot compress a fluid like you can compress gas, when you press on this pedal, push this fluid, it actually creates pressure here, and it creates an equal amount of pressure throughout the whole hydraulic system. So there are those hydraulic fluid filled lines in the brake system, and here's the actual brake at each wheel. So those brake lines are connected to this in each wheel. This is another cylinder. There's two pistons in here, one here and one here. So when that pressure increases, these two cylinders want to go outwards like this. And they're connected by this little rod here to these things. These are the calipers, and they're hinged at the bottom here. So what happens is that pressure increases, these two pistons push outwards, and the calipers are hinged, so they want to go outwards like this towards what's called the brake drum. And here's the brake drum on the back of the wheel. So when those calipers are pushed outwards, they actually scrape against the inside of the drum here, and that creates friction, and that stops your car. And when you take your foot off the brake pedal, what happens is this spring here on each of the brakes pulls these calipers, these metal arms, back in, squeezes the pistons back in, and it squeezes the hydraulic fluid back through the system, back into the master cylinder. So it's reset and ready to go again. Okay, here's my master cylinder on the workbench. As you can see, very simple design. The plunger goes in there. This is for the output tube where the brake lines are connected. This is for a replenishment cylinder that sits on top here. It's full of fluid just to make sure that if you get any that leaks out, it's replenished. And then on the top here, what you got is this. This is the brake light switch. So this goes in here like this. And when you push and create pressure in here, there's a little tiny diaphragm in here that goes up and down and makes an electrical connection, and that's what makes your brake lights go on. Okay, as you can see, we got the master cylinder back installed in the car. Up here is the replenishment reservoir that I was talking about. So basically that keeps the master cylinder filled up even if some of your brake fluid leaks out. It just allows some of the brake fluid to come down that copper line there and refill this. So what we got to do right now is fill up that top cylinder there with our brake fluid, and then we're going to bleed out the brakes. Okay, so we're at the back driver's side brake, and we're going to bleed out the system. What that means is you push the brake fluid through the system and you get all the air out of there. And the way you do that is you connect a plastic tube. I don't know if you can see it back there. There's a nipple right in the middle of the screen there. You open that up and then you squeeze on the brake pedal, and it's going to push all the air out until fluid leaks out. I'll give the brake a nice slow squeeze. And then let it fill up with fluid again. Give it another push. So have to do the rear driver's side first, then the rear passenger side, and then the front passenger side, and then the front driver's side. All right, we got all four wheels bled out. Now, this is the test. Let's see if we actually have brakes. I'll just get this tire going here. Hit the brakes. Hey, it stopped. I got brakes. That's cool. Well, thanks for watching. This has been a bit of a challenge, but all the brakes are working fine now. So it won't be too long before I'm able to take the car for a very short drive. I just have to finish off the cooling system. I got some parts coming. Then I can start it up, strap a gas can on it, and go for a ride. Yes, it does not look like that yet, but it will someday. Thanks for joining me. Talk to you later.